Hello. Hello, my people. I just haven't done a sit chat, just long form content in a while. And the essence of this is embracing the void. It's something that's coming up a lot lately. I've been listening to a lot of Mami Onami's free content. I'm saving to be able to work with her. But in the meanwhile, I am vastly enjoying the content and the kind of mindset retraining that I've been needing to undergo. I'm hitting some really big transformations and some, a lot of what she talks about in her erotic wealth classes is about embracing the delayed gratification, which of course is part of sex magic, but also in general, a part of gathering your energy. Not utilizing your energy, overutilizing your energy in ways that don't truly matter. So in my case, that would be, her way of saying it is don't jack off and ejaculate all over the place. So that's posting too much on social media without creating some longer form content, a blog, a book, something that has a bigger investment payoff in the long run, because lots of short videos are fun to make, but it winds up taking energy away from the bigger message that I have to deliver. So I need to focus my energy better. So in a lot of the case, I'm having to pick and choose emptiness over occupation. I have opportunity for more social connections at this point in my life, but at the same time, I can only stand a certain amount of community. I have to take it in doses. So I'm networking, but also staying true to the timelines that I have set for myself. So, I don't know. Talking about it without talking about it's tricky. Embracing the void, though, is you have to give up your old life for your new life. It's a cliche. We always talk about that. But that means your comforts. That means having people check in on you. That means disappearing to the point that you become hyper independent. That means depending on yourself for a long time in some cases. Some people have it shorter amount of times, but when you're aiming to live an extraordinary life in whatever way your journey needs you to build that up, you're going to do it. You will, in some ways, go through cycles where you're getting in your own way. Not always consciously. A lot of times it's unconsciously where you're reliving old fear patterns, trauma patterns that don't serve you anymore, or survival tactics that don't serve you anymore. And I'm, in the middle of being a human being and then learning a lot of this shit while I, go along in life and am able to embrace more and make more and require more responsibility of myself. Even if nobody ever reads the book I wrote, I still turned it around and taught somebody something that I learned about me and my body, and it's out there for the world to have, right? That's my watermelon agua fresca. Last night, I had a very weird dream. I only had one Tyler, the Creator song pop up on my playlists today. Well, I'm sorry, that was yesterday. Yesterday, I had one Tyler, the Creator song pop up on my Spotify while I was listening to my DJ. I'm not really the biggest Tyler fan, but I wound up looking at his natal chart today, and we have a lot of conjunctions. Pretty big ones. Mars. I think he's got some connections to my North Node, my MC at the very least. Very interesting shit. But I found myself having a dream about Tyler, the Creator last night. And I was giving him big hugs, and he was holding on to me, and I was holding on to him, and it was not romantic. But at one point, I was cradling his face in my hands, and I was telling him things like, I relate to celebrity because it's a group of people who wanted to be more than average. And like Rihanna walked by, I saw her, and I used to have dreams like this when I was a kid, where I was dreaming about celebrities and very like movie-like settings, but this was so affectionate and so grounding. perhaps I need to get more into his music. But there are times when I don't want to go to sleep at the end of the day because I feel like my productivity hasn't been satisfied. Even though I've done a lot, I do more than most average people in a day, but I'm never satisfied completely. I'm always wanting to burn more energy towards my goals. Learn one more thing, you know? I have to force myself to relax. And embracing the void of the night is very productive in the way that I see things like that in my dreams. I see messages, knowings. So when you create space in between yourself and other people, in between you and your mission, in between like fasting yourself and food, or yourself and certain types of food, sugar or seed oils or whatever the fuck your thing is, alcohol, you name it, whatever you're separating yourself from, whatever your void you're embracing. Sometimes it's just being alone, or, you know, embracing the fact that you're a social outcast, embracing the fact that nobody seems to understand you, embracing the fact that you feel like an orphan. Both of your parents are so royally fucked up. That's me lately. I've even pulled a lot of archetype cards in a row about feeling like an orphan, and I am telling you, in a lot of ways, I've felt like an adult my entire life because my parents being the way they are. Last week, my dad had a fentanyl overdose, and I had to call the paramedics. It was very scary. He's doing better now. In fact, today I just set up my Xbox 360 in his bedroom, my old Xbox, so he could watch Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And I gave him all my other DVDs that he could just watch shit with. And I haven't touched my DVDs since I moved down from Seattle. So almost 10 years now. There's a lot of stuff that's fun. I have Metalocalypse and like a really good Mel Brooks collection, and a bunch of random, like I have Shakespeare stuff. I have the Count of Monte Cristo, so like random old shit, new shit. I popped my toes. I fidget. So I just gave him all that to watch because, you know, I want him to experience new stimulation, and if he's interested, that's great. He was acting interested in reading Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's a difficult read because my stomach's grumbling. Douglas Adams, very ADHD in the way he tells his stories, and it can be hard to ride the wave if you're not on his wave. But so he gave it a shot and watched the movie today, and I think he was too tired to talk about it, but I think he also enjoyed himself. Mos Def is so good in that. It's a great movie. But I had a long night in the hospital with him and my sister and her husband. And, you know, we had a nice family moment. We don't get together very often, and that was wholesome. But it was also very scary. And, you know, my childhood was spent with him being in and out of rehab my entire life because he used to abuse opioids growing up. He had a problem for a really long time, for most of his life in that regard. And I think in some ways he overcame it, but he had wound up with bone cancer during COVID. And he had stage 4 metastasized bone cancer. So it was originally prostate cancer, and then it went to his bones. He's also a registered nurse, so he's very stubborn about doses and treatments and knowing all things and self-diagnosing like most registered nurses are. And it's just it can be really difficult to watch. But he's in the best, case scenario. He's doing really well right now, and I'm really blessed to have him. But that was a void I wasn't ready to embrace. Not like that. Not like that. Not like that. And I feel incredibly blessed to be here today, telling you this story in the way that I am. Because we can't control things from going that direction. We can only ride the wave and embrace the void of control. Embrace discomfort as the norm instead of chasing moments of happiness that are fleeting. Be embracing what is at all times and try to really stay present with it. I know somebody's going to enjoy this. We'll find out what Tyler, the Creator, needed to say to me. I don't think it's like, he's directly communicating with me, but I think his archetype is communicating to me. It's a Piscean touch being made. Anyway, guys. Let's see if I touched all my notes here. Something else I didn't touch on. I moved to Seattle with way too much shit one time. A whole 22-foot trailer. Stuff I should have left where I came from. A piano that couldn't fit in my apartment barely. I still have trouble letting go with my family's clothing. I have my grandpa's army jacket. I have sweaters for my great-grandmother and grandmother in my closet. I have my grandmother's squirrel fur coat. I've recently put a lot of that in vacuum bags, vacuum-sealed bags. I have trouble letting go just like everybody else. And I think this energy, like I've been talking about, embracing the void. What if all that got taken away and all I had left was my memories? Would that change anything? No, I don't think so. Like Tu Wong Fu. No, I don't think so. But it's still hard letting go. I just can't seem to get myself in the mood to get rid of that shit, even though it's kind of like a weight around my neck. Letting go can be hard. We do our best every single day, a little bit differently each time around. So, I know the right thing to do is embrace voids. So, I've been purging a lot more in general. I did get to cry this morning as well. I'm forgiving the bad things for needing a space in my life. I'm forgiving the hard feelings of having my dad be yanked in and out of my life because of drugs. And I've watched my mom overdose as well on different drugs. That's how I knew something wrong was happening. Watching somebody fight to keep their consciousness and their breath in their body is so hard. And that's what makes me feel like an orphan, at times. And this is something that I process. This is something that I work through. This is my personal journey that I deal with. This is one of the reasons why I'm such a good practitioner with my spiritual advice and coaching and tarot reading that I do, is because I look these things in the face in my own life. I don't avoid them. I run right to them and learn the lessons so I can turn it around and help you. I am a Chiron in Gemini conjunct my moon. If I don't do this, I can't heal my own wounds. So I have to stay helping people. This is being of service. I'm committed to the service. I only want Katie Shasky to be known so that people can associate my message with a vessel. I want to be more abundant so I can do better work. The more abundant I am, the more work I can do and do. I don't know. Lunar returns are hard. I'm sitting here trying to communicate and I'm fighting myself from talking because I'm a Saturn opposite moon. Like, I have all these fucking emotions, but I intellectualize things so well. So well. And I have such a large vocabulary. So I can put things in a bubble, but feeling them through, it's a whole other thing. I'm still processing this shit from the hospital and how that whole thing went. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at a ... leave it at an inconclusive ending here, because life is like that. Life is like that. We're all just experiencing it as we go. But this is my truth right now. I'm in a deep lesson of stillness. Like, it is very feminine, this black yin energy, this void to embrace. Isolating as well as nurturing. Healing as well as lonesome. There's this very strange dichotomy in it. And yet I feel whole. More whole than I ever have, more balanced than I ever have in my entire life. And I know I'm going... I don't know how to say this. My trajectory has nowhere else to go other than where I see it going. It's just me stepping out of the way and unblocking it. And embracing the void is in a lot of way clearing that energy. I love it. So I'm in my less is more era. I love that. I'm in my less is more era. It's not so much embracing the void as my less is more era. You know, somebody is going to listen to this. I know you guys like to hear about you and your readings, and I'll get back to more of those. But this is also my truth as well. So this has to get shared every now and then. So every now and then it's nice to sit and riff with you guys. Dreams are crazy. Times is crazy. You're white knuckling it too, I'm sure. But we can all come together and share stories like this to help make it all make sense. Anyway, I'm sure this was long enough. Please take care. I love each and every one of you. I have an e-guide. I'm going to put it in the description box below. It is for women and how to ungirl boss your cycle. So I'm really proud of it. I'm excited and think it's going to help a lot of people. But even if it never gets read, the whole purpose is just putting something free out there to put positive energy in the world. So it's going to get read. It's by one person that desperately needed it. And it'll hit just the way it needed to. Even if it's just that one, I'm going to be super satisfied with that. And I hope they let me know. All right. So it's Saturday. What day? 16th. August 16th. 2025 is going so fast. I'm so proud of the changes that I've done this year. I'm so proud of the products that I've put in line to be put out. I am so proud of the thoughts, the ideas that are coming to my mind. I'm so proud of the management that I've been doing in ASO. I'm so proud to grow something for myself and other tarot readers that's really tangible and everybody can get their time and space and people can get more of their practice. And I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. Anyway, sending you good vibes, guys. Take care.